Hello, I'll be with you in a sec. Hang on. Got the usual obligatory wait a moment while I try and get the browser showing the stream, just so I can respond to chat messages and stuff. In a sec. Oh, there we go. So I'll wait until one or two people join, assuming there are one or two people still out there who do want to watch my live streams, because it is just me playing around. Hang on, let me just pause that because I don't want to see the video. Hey, Joseph Neil, hi. Yeah, you're first again, first every time. I thought I'd do another stream just to catch up with things, because it's been 3 or 4 days, hasn't it? In the meantime, I've had a few days of rest. You could probably sound like I'm a bit hoarse. I've been coughing a little bit. I don't think it's you know what, but yeah, I've been coughing a little bit, feeling a bit off, and it's like coming in waves and things. So I think it's just a bit of a chill, and some hay fever added into the mix as well. So yeah, nice to see some more people joining there. Terrible Fire, hello Stephen, hope you're feeling a bit better. I saw a message on the forum earlier where you were saying you were feeling a bit under the weather. Dave Curran, I think I'm still out there somewhere. Adam Summer, woohoo stream. Mike Simcox, afternoon gadget mate. Hello, nice to see you again, Mike. Yeah, so for the people who just joined, let's say I'm going to just do what I've been doing. Really, is just to let me just turn the camera on. Just catch up with things. Really, try and do bits and pieces. Oh, hang on. So I'll start by just going through the things that have arrived here. There's a few things I've done this morning actually. You remember we tidied up this thing the other day, this serial dongle. So I made myself one there. Is that the parallel one? No, that's the serial one. So I made myself a serial dongle. And you can see the way I did this, instead of having big wires coming off the thing, it might not focus very well. But like in this one here, you join, I think it's 2 to 3, and then is it those 3 there, 4, 5, 6, and then there's 2 join across there like that, and then links across to the other one. So that's the serial one. And I thought, well, let's do the parallel as well, and then we can test the parallel. So I need to go give those a go. But in the meantime, you can see I've got some nice new Kickstart ROMs here with a hair on it. Cat hair there, hang on. The problem with cats, I have to super clean everything. It's going to take me a considerable amount of time to make sure those boards are clean before, well, one of them goes back to Stephen. Yeah, so I've got 3.1 here from Amiga Forever. You can see it's licensed. I've covered over the license because, well, obviously I don't want people knowing my license number in case they try and clone it or something. And then in the last 10 minutes, these arrived in the chip post here, some an 1488 and a 1489, is it D? You know, the SMD versions there, the serial, because we think one of those needs doing on the 4000, don't we, on one of the 4000 boards, and a brand new SIM. It's an 8 meg one. Well, I say brand new. It's yeah, it's an old one, isn't it? The SIM, 60 nanoseconds there. Siemens, the same as the one Stephen provided actually. So I'll give that a try. It's 8 meg. I'm hoping, because we've got chips on both sides, it should work as a chip RAM SIM, and hopefully we'll see more than 1 meg. And then I've also got, where is it, the components here for the Spectrum. As I finished that, you saw I was going through all my TTL chips and my CMOS chips and stuff, going through them all, cataloguing what I had. While I was there, I just picked out some LS versions of the 4 ICs. From what I understand, there's 2 different ways of doing that. You can use HC chips or LS chips, and I've gone with the LS. Just bear with me a minute, I've just realised I need to plug the power extension in because it is not connected. Last thing I want to do is lose the stream because the battery goes on the camera. So I'll just catch up with chat, and then we'll fly over to the other side of the room and have a look at those things on the A4000 to start with. And I wanted to ask you a question while I'm here, and it might help that Stephen's here or anybody else who's quite clued up on the Amiga 4000. Certainly catch up. Hey bud, in the States, everyone looks at you if you sneeze. Yeah, they do here. Gallagher, Clifford Gallagher, in the UK you can't go outside. Yeah, it's a bit restrictive, isn't it, to say the least. Having said that, if I listen to the main road out here, it's car. I don't know where they're all going, considering there's a lockdown going on. This seems to be an awful lot of traffic. Maybe it's all food shopping, but I don't think so. So we'll fight well if you do the cops beat you up. Yeah, that's a bit. I don't think it's quite that extreme, but yeah, I get the point. I think they are perhaps in instances, let's say, taking a few liberties or focusing on people that perhaps they shouldn't be focused on. I mean, I'll give you one example, right? I saw some footage, you may have seen it, of somewhere, I think it was in London, and there was loads of cyclists all packed together like in a little pack, you know, driving together, and lots of people walking. I was like, wow, those people are crazy and need separating. And there were no police to be seen anywhere. And then the next thing I saw, there was a woman on her own in the middle of a deserted beach, and there was a policewoman hassling her, you know, asking her questions like, what are you doing here? And I'm thinking to myself, well, hang on a minute, she's walked to the beach, kept away from everybody, she's there on her own, she's miles away from anybody. What's she going to do, contaminate a piece of sand on the ground? It's like, I don't really see what the problem with that sort of thing is. I think that where, you know, you've got to use a bit of common sense. I think people walking out in the wilderness on their own, you know, what's the issue there? I really don't see what the problem is. But anyway, the more we try and follow the rules, the less chance of it spreading. So yeah, stay home if you can. Conrad Larson, hey everyone, how are you? Okay, thanks Conrad. Yeah, been a bit up and down, but I'm fine. Mike Pearman, hey Chris, nice to see you. Andrew Little Boy again, nice to see you, my friend. Lots of traffic here too, even during the night. Stephen Leary, I live in Glasgow. Cops beat you up here for sport. Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. Maybe you should move to another part of Scotland, maybe, or maybe back to Lewis. It might be safer on Lewis. The worrying thing is, you know, the first thing I thought with this is, you know, maybe the best place to go actually is one of the remote Scottish islands. You know, you're going to be okay there, but I think it was Orkney or Shetland, I forget which one, but I read one of them had an infection there. You know, it started spreading, and it was causing obviously big problems because they don't have masses of hospital facilities there to deal with it. So it's getting everywhere, even the remote islands and things. But I mean, hopefully Lewis is unaffected at the moment. Hopefully it stays that way. Matt's Larson, oh my God, he's back. Yeah. Hello, Chris. Congrats. Oh, 20,000 subs. Yes, thank you ever so much. And I've got to thank Vince. I don't think you mentioned Vince a few times. My mate Vince. I will post a link down below after. Yeah, he mentioned me on. Well, he spoke to me actually. He rang me about a Nintendo Switch Lite he was trying to you know, fix, and he had a question about what he thought was an inductor. And between us, we did a few tests and things, and actually came to the conclusion it probably isn't an inductor. It's actually a resistor, a 0.5 ohm shunt resistor. So he mentioned that in the video and said, you know, if you can go over to my channel, check it out. And lo and behold, he's helped push me over 20,000. Cops on Lewis are even worse. Lewis has coronavirus, unfortunately. Oh, that is a shame. Because it's like I say, some of these communities on the island are going to get hit pretty hard with that whole thing because of the medical. You know, they're going to end up having to be flown to the mainland or something. Vince is a great guy. Anyway, I'll catch up with the chat in a minute. Let's just go over the other side of the room. I will bring the Amiga things first. I think we'll have a look at the Spectrum stuff after. We'll get the chips, get the loot bags. What else do I need? Just the camera, I think. So I'll just wheel you over there. Just bear with me. So it's extremely warm in here today. I'm just going to open the window actually. I'll see if I can avoid losing the camera. Let me just put the tripod legs up. Sorry, camera's going to be wobbling a little bit while I just do this. It just gets a little bit more support when it's, well, I think it does. It feels like it wants to go at the moment. See if I can rotate that bit. Yeah, hopefully that won't fall over. Anyway, I'll just put these bits here a minute. I'll just switch that off before it causes any problems. And I'll just open the window because I'm too hot, way too hot. And I think I'm going to have to cover off as well actually, guys. I would say the last 10 minutes it's got about 30 degrees warmer in here. It was freezing this morning. I see the camera's decided to slant a little bit, isn't it? Right, anyway, let's just move these things out of the way. So we'll start with the SIM. Let's just disconnect the one that's in there. And you can see that one's a Siemens one? Yeah, it's got Siemens chips on it. This one's a bit bigger. You need to think about the size of these because if you try fitting one of these in one of these slots here, well, it probably won't make that much difference, but I know that the height of them can cause some issues. It might depend on where you're fitting it inside the case in the system as well. So let's get that in. We'll try that first. You can see I've also been testing the LEDs here as well. Just point you up here, just see see if that's gonna boot. We haven't got green, so straight away I'm thinking actually there's a good chance that sim is probably going to do the job. Now the question I was going to ask you guys, as I mentioned earlier, is this 4000, you've seen how long this is taking to boot from floppy here. It's starting now, it's just starting to boot now. There you go. So there was an incredible amount of time there, maybe a good 30 seconds whilst it was looking for the hard disk. But when we come to the other board in a minute, you watch the difference. You don't get the same delay. And it's got me perplexed. I don't understand where the difference is between the two boards that it's doing. Unless maybe it's a GAL revision difference, or I don't see how, or something. But anyway, you can see that's booted. Let's go into memory. Oh yes, 2 meg. I'm trying to zoom in. You perhaps can't see because it's right at the top of the screen there. Yeah, you can just about see it up here, 2 meg total. So that's really good because, as I don't know if I showed it, but if I stick one of the 4 meg sims, in fact I can do that. I'll do that. I'll switch it off. I'll take that sim out. I know you can't see what I'm doing. We'll just stick a 4 meg single-sided sim in there, and I'll show you what happens anyway. It's interesting, I guess. I'll zoom back out a little bit if I can. So we'll just wait for it to boot again. I'll try and bring the Mac over so I can see the questions and things. And we'll let Luigi out. He wants to go out. Go on. Go on then. Yeah, Yoshi's in here as well. Cats love being here this time of year. As soon as you get to spring, it starts to get sunnier. Yeah, trust me, that's still booting, I think. Yeah, it's booting there, I can hear it. Again, if you've got anything I'm missing, please send it to me directly with @GadgetUK in the chat there, and then I'll pick it up. Can you see that? I'll zoom you in a little bit. Sorry, we're going to get interesting things with the light today in here as well because it's so bright. So you can see up there, 1 meg chip. And I'll show you if I just bring you back down and just zoom you back out a little bit. Oh, this stand is stressing me. Flash and stuff, but the actual data that was coming back was not correct. It wasn't given the right version number, or it wasn't even identified as a compact flash card. It was like random garbage there. So anyway, there was a repair for that, which will be covered in the main series. And a problem with one of the shift registers as well on this board. I think it was the other one. It was the one where I've got 2 connections actually. They just weren't, there wasn't enough solder. When I piggybacked them, the 2 pins were just literally just touching and they weren't really soldered. So I had to solve that as well. But again, those things, the behaviour that took me to that conclusion of that, to look at it, see that was that. You'll see in the main series. Right, so that was a good bill of health with the serial and parallels. Just prise those off. Again, trying not to touch the actual backs of them. There we go. We'll disconnect this board. Now remember, this one took 30 seconds there to give up looking for the IDE and boot from the floppy drive. So let's just look what happens to the other one. Now the other one, I want to get we'll leave this RAM in here for the moment. The other one, I want to get the new Kickstart ROMs into. I mean, the nice thing now is because I've got Kickstart ROMs in both of these and a 2 meg chip RAM as well in both of them, I don't have to keep swapping chips around. That was the main aim of getting these. So you can see there, one has got ROM 2 on it and one just says 3.1 ROM. I'm guessing that if you look at the you won't be able to see it, but the designation on the board there says U175 on the right and U176 for the one on the left. So I think that the first one's going to go on the right in the high position. It might not be. I think so. And then ROM 2 is going to go into the one with the next number up, U176. Let's try and get that in. So that's that. Let's get the CPU riser back in. Again, we'll just connect the dongles up. It'll just save me having to reboot the blooming thing a few times, won't it? So it's parallel on the bottom. That's it. And serial on top there. Mouse. Video. The other day when I was talking about the serial stuff around here and I was looking at the back of the board, I was like, oh, that's the floppy port. And I was pointing to the video connector. The floppy port's the one on the other side. And obviously the ones on the right hand side here, you've got parallel on the bottom, serial on the top. So let's connect up audio. What else do we need? Power now. And the floppy drive. Yeah, so I mean, it's a shame I couldn't stream yesterday, but I wasn't sure whether you guys would want to see me doing, you know, some of this stuff, because this has been going on and on and on and on and on, this repair. If I streamed every part of it, I tell you what, I've been streaming for the last month. I'm not sure whether you want to see the same sorts of things all the time, but unfortunately I've got to try and do these things to completion. Now, I'll just point you back up here. This is the thing, this is the question. Right, and I'll power cycle it just so you, I mean, you can see straight away it's up, that shouldn't be up. This is what's really weird about this board. And if, you know, if it's an issue, perhaps I'll keep this one, Stephen can have the normal one. But it works. So you got 1, 2, oh look, it's booted. 2 or 3 seconds and it boots. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's clearly got nothing to do with the Kickstart version, because I've tried different Kickstart versions at various points here between the two boards, and it's the same behaviour, that this board always boots super quick from floppy, whereas the other one doesn't. The other one waits a prolonged period of time for the compact flash. And if I you can't see what I'm doing, but if I just disconnect the floppy drive and replace the, you know, fit the compact flash instead, just give me a sec. So it's got its power, plugging it into the board, just reseat it for good measure, switch it on, and I'll point you down here. If we just wait for the LED. See, so it flashed a couple of times, look, flashing. So I mean, that's booting normally now from the hard disk. So it's like there's no issue in finding that drive and booting from it. I'm sure that's going to come up with, oh mind you, Mike's not got enough RAM in here, is it? It's going to black screen, I think. I haven't stuck the extra RAM in there, but trust me, that's working. I mean, I can stick the RAM in this. Let's just do that anyway. So, what you guys been doing? Anyone been having any barbecues in the back garden or anything? I imagine that's quite difficult because you need obviously the things for it, don't you? Not to mention your food and stuff if you're going to have a barbecue. One of our neighbours did yesterday. It had me wondering where they got all the food from and stuff. They must have gone out specially to get it. Oh, the interesting thing is that's now not booting from the hard disk. Now I've added the RAM. Let me just try and reseat those again. Maybe there is a problem with the ID on this board. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know. This is a bit strange. Because all I did there was fit the RAM. Having said that, I have been having weird problems where I just reset the power connector on here and then it's all right. So you never know. No, it's not looking at the ID. What? Anyway, I'm not going to spend ages trying to diagnose this in this video. Clearly on this board there is something not quite right versus the other one. No, it's not looking at the ID at all. That's a bit strange. Anyway, let's just connect the floppy drive up. I'll have a look at that again later. It might be a video in its own right when I make a little bit more progress with that. But trust me, I've been booting this board all day, and it's been doing the same thing as I explained, where it just boots. If you put a floppy in, boots from a floppy straight away without your hard disk connected. Like it's not even looking for the hard disk. But then it does work with a hard disk. I mean, it's not doing just now, which would indicate that maybe it is a hard drive problem. Right, so let's just test the serial parallel ports. I can't remember if we've just done this. I don't think I think we did it on the other board, didn't we? Point you up a little bit. Serial parallel. Yeah, I've got both of these. Loads of A500 boards and things I need to test the ports on, really. So that's okay. Let's do parallel. Now, the interesting thing is, we did have a fault on one of these in the previous video. The serial port was coming back as bad on one of these boards. So it must have been a loose connection on that dongle, the one that Tom provided. like I say, which I subsequently later resoldered off camera. So I think they're okay. I don't think we've got a serial problem. Just catch up with the chat. We'll move on to perhaps the Spectrum in a sec. Mike Simcox, what are all those books on the wall, Chris? Oh yeah, they're my wife's travel books and things. It's all like Lonely Planet stuff. You know, all travel guides and things for various countries. She does a lot of travelling because of languages. So just catching up, seeing if I've missed anything. Someone says, isn't there a difference between SCSI controls on the two? So it's there waiting for ID, most probably. Yeah, that's the thing though. I think both boards should sit there waiting for the IDE. What I might do off camera later, I don't know, I could do it in this stream later maybe if I'm a bit bored, is just reflow the two CPLDs at the gals at the back. You can't quite see them because of the floppy drive, hang on. Because you can't see the inside of this one. Sorry, I've got wires in the way there. Yeah, you can't see the inside of this one. When you come to solder that, you've got to put Captain tape down here and try and get the iron in there like that. And you're looking at it, trying to, at every angle, going, is the solder there? Is it is it there properly? So the fact it's warm in here today, and this has just now started playing up. And I kid you not, I've been playing with this for 2 days and had no problems. So, and in fact, if anything, it was the other one that had problems with IDE yesterday. So, I don't know. Let's just try that again. There's something with this compact flash adapter though, I know that for sure. But despite the fact I said I reflowed it and resoldered the connections and the things, this compact flash adapter has given me grief on both boards a number of times. Let's just make sure everything's okay here. Just power that on again, just see if anything happens there. No, it's not even looking at it, is it? I'm just thinking though, if the power connector there was the issue, would it not be looking at it? Let's just try and bend that a little bit. No, it's not even looking at it. But I do know once or twice all I've done is literally just reseat that and then it suddenly starts working again. But it could be a red herring. Yeah, my bet on that is that CPLD there not being flowed properly, maybe. I don't know. I can't see what else. Can't see what else could be causing that. Anyway, we'll shoot over to the mat in a sec. We'll take the Spectrum over there and fit those 4 chips and find some RAM. That is really mysterious there. They're like the repairs. These are like the repairs. These boards, they give the repairs that just keep on giving. It's just like every time I fix something, something else then springs to life. As I mentioned, this is the one that had the problems with the shift register there yesterday. One of the mouse direction. I could go down, I could go left and right. I couldn't go up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what's wrong with this mouse now? And it was just a bad connection. Anyway, I'm not going to get anywhere with that, are we? Let's just have an inspection of that. It's not this, it's got all fluxed up or something, is it? Sometimes, no, it's not. The pins are alright on that. No, I do not know. And it's related to the weather as well. Let's move this board out of the way now because we'll need to make room for the Spectrum. But we'll get to the bottom of it. We'll get to the bottom of it. Yeah, so that's it. 2 days. 2 days I've been playing around with that. Swapping between the boards and booting from hard disk and played for hours and hours and hours. It's, yeah, very odd. Anyway, let's pop it over there. So I've got the Spectrum here we looked at the other day. Now I've also I've put an SD card into the Div MMC Future here from the Future was 8-bit. Get this open now. So I'm curious to see whether this will now work. I did read this should work with 16K. So let's and carefully plug it into the back here. Yeah, there we go. So that's that. Switch the power supply on. We are using that Mega Drive power supply for the moment. And we need the RF lead. The RF lead's in. Question is, which one of these is it? Is it this one? Let's try this. I'll just... Yeah, there we go. TV's come straight on, surprisingly enough. I thought that was going to be needing switching over the channels, but it hasn't. I'll switch it off again. We should see... See, it's not coming up with the DVD stuff, is it? Hang on, SD card's not in. Let me put the SD card back in. Let's try that again. So that said loading Exydos, and then just bombed out, didn't it? Oh, I've got 3 files there. That's normal. You should see 3 files loading. I press the green button. Sorry, not the green button, the grey button. Just resets. And I've pressed the one that's lit. It just resets. So I don't know whether there's this problem with this Spectrum there, or whether the I'm just trying to sound down because it's buzzing away there, or whether it's the Div IDE, you know, not Div IDE, Div MMC Future. There's an issue somewhere. What we do know is we cleaned up the contacts in a previous video. So anyway, let's wheel over to the other side of the room with this and get those chips in. I'm just going to have a look at the comments. Dave Curran, something's fluxed up. Yeah. Interface is only enabled when SD card is inserted. Do you have the correct files on the SD card? Yeah, I went to the Future 8-bit website and I downloaded the, what's it called, Light, I think it is, Starter, is it? And there's 2 folders, isn't there, that it says it needs. One's bin and the other one's, is it lib or something else? There's two main folders. I read that from the instructions and those are on there, along with the games folder and loads of other games and things. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got the right files on there. Anyway, let's just wheel over to the mat with this. I'll leave that connected just for now. Yeah, the mat's that carpet rug thing is not here for the moment because my wife's having to work in the other room. We've allowed her to be home for the moment, so I had to help her set that up all yesterday, all the computers and things. She's got 2 screens. It's taking up a ton of space. Right, I'm moving Mac over. Hang on. So I'll just connect the camera back to the charge before that goes. And out to the Mac. So I've got the 4 ICs here. We should make a little bit of space on this mat. Put that back together later. Yeah, so as I said, there was a bad connection on that. I think that's why we got a red herring, false positive serial fault the other day. But we've got those chips in Future anyway, a 1488 and a 1489 if we ever need them. I'll do a lot more testing on it before I get it back. And one thing that, the reason why this is going on a bit is because this IDE thing keeps doing my head in, if I'm honest. It's like 1 minute everything's fine and then the next minute we've got some mysterious IDE fault that makes no sense and then everything's alright again. Yeah, bulb blew this morning. I know, check that bulb actually. Let's just do that. It's basic stuff. There might be somebody watching who doesn't know how to test a bulb. It takes all of a second. You put your multimeter on continuity test so that the probes beat, and then you want to. Oh, someone else was going to show you this as well. It might be interesting. Yeah, you just measure over the contacts there. Yeah, so that's open circuit. That bulb's gone. Yeah, what I was going to show you is, can you see how dirty this one is? I cleaned this with a fiberglass pen. But I can't help but wonder, because these bulbs keep blowing all the time, and I've been looking at them, and they're all like that, really tarnished and horrible. And I can't help but wonder if it's causing it to arc a little bit, rather than having a smooth contact. So it's something to consider. If you've got cheap bulbs like this, before you put them in, just clean the contacts like that. You get any flux or anything else that's on there off. Anyway, that's that. I'm going to the bin. And it blew the fuse as well. That's the other weird thing about it. I've got it's one of those timers, it's a timer on the wall. And I think because it feeds a constant voltage through, I think it uses like PWM or something, does it? And so even when it's off, this is kind of, if you look to this in a pitch black room, you can kind of see a tiny, tiny, tiny little glow. It's not enough to light the room, but you can see that it is actually driving it. Anyway, the fuse always goes when the bulb goes. It blooming annoys me. So I had to order more bulbs and more fuses. I've got twice as many things to swap out just from having a timer. Spitfire RF, hi, nice to see you. Woo, Specky, Mike Simcox, hey Zarkos, hi, nice to see you again, Zarkos. Stu Roro, good to see you here again, my friend. And everybody else, we've got so many people joined actually, I'm surprised. Right, let's have a look at this. So, what's on the mat? Need to disconnect the keyboard again, don't we? Trying to think which way. I think the other way might be best to start with, this way. Yeah, so let's do that one first. Again, try and support it as you try and pull straight up. I'm sure these are going to break before we're done. Oh, God, stiff. I think someone said put IPA on those, and that's a good idea actually. If you want to assist getting them out, just put a little bit of IPA there. Let's try and do one over here now. It's bent over, that one. That's what I don't like about that one. You've got to, that's it, bend it a little bit to try and get it off. Anyway, that's that done. Turn it around. Now, handle, I printed off a piece of paper here with the IC position numbers. So IC23 is an OR gate. And I had a quick look at the schematics. I was going to show you, but the print is really small. The issue 2 schematics are awful, the ones that I've found. But basically, in order to add this RAM to the system, there's 2 things you need. You need the RAS and CAS stuff, you know, for the RAM refresh. But then also, I think there's 2 multiplexes, isn't there? Yeah, the HC157s. We've got 2 of those. Because I think, are they 4-bit each? It's like 2 inputs, 1 output, but I think it's like 4 channels there. So you need 2 of them to get 8 bits. I think that's why we've got 2 of those. So anyway, IC23 is the LS32, or HC. You could use HC, but try and stick. Well, that's what I think. I think from what I've read online, they're saying you can either use HC chips or LS chips. So where's IC32? That's 23. Yeah, we got, hang on. Yeah, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah, so 23. Let's get that one in. It's nice at having these sockets on. I'm not sure they all ship that way. I don't think. I can point you down a little bit just so you can see a little bit better there. Yeah, I'm not sure they all shipped with sockets on like that. This camera's trying to make a go for it again here. We just squash that leg up a little bit there. Yeah, that'll do, compensate for it. It's a bit heavy on one side. So the next one, we'll do the LS00. Yeah, LS00. That's is it an AND? I think it's an AND gate, isn't it? An LS00. So the OR and the AND, you know, the OR we've just fitted there. That's an OR gate. So you got, you know, 2 inputs and you know 1 output. It's one or the other, you know. And then same with the AND. You got 2 inputs and 1 output, and it's an AND gate. This one was to go in IC24. The clue is it's a small socket. I'm not sure why I'm looking at those 2 because this can only go in here. And I'm guessing pin 1's the right way up there. Yeah, I think so. So that's those 2 done. 157. And the legs are slightly gold winged on that. Is that going to go in? These 157s came from Allison stuff again. It was when I got to one of the drawers of the components that came from Allison, I realised that she just happened to have 2 LS157Ns. Yeah, the legs on this one are totally gold winged, so I'm just going to put it on the mat and squash it down a little bit. There we go, that's better. To straighten them out. Get that in there. So the only other thing we need there now is the RAM. Well, Zarkos, is it a mass storage device? I'm not sure what he's talking about. I think he's talking about the DMC. Yes, you can run, yeah, you know, load things from SD card. One of the things that seems quite nice about that card as well, I didn't realise, I was looking at the list of extensions it supports, and I obviously haven't tested it yet, so I don't know for sure, but it mentioned .tap files, and .tap files on the div IDE you cannot, you know, the one from Lothrak and some of the others out there, you can't load. So if it supports .tap files, that is a huge improvement for me personally, because that's one format I've been struggling with. What I've had to do in the past with tap files is load them into an emulator and then do a save state, you know, save state, create a .z80 file. Now I'm trying to find the right chips here. I've got some oh, there's one from an Amiga, that's not the right one, so I can show you this, I guess. This is not the best kind of container to store ICs in, because it's plastic. Well, maybe it is, I don't know. Hang on. So those are ones from a 500, I think, only. I think the ones are reclaimed, actually, and those ones are there, of those crusty boards. I've just got to try and find some 416s in here, 464s. Somewhere, I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of them. Or, well, hopefully enough of them. Those are 4164s, I think. Yeah. Mitsubishi 5K4164. Might just have enough of those. I don't know, I've got a Kyocera one there. Might have to mix and match them a little bit, I think. So let's try and take those out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to be careful because I've got some Toshiba larger ones there. 5, 6, 7. I think the 8th one is there. Yeah, 8. That should be enough, I think. So let's get rid of that. And let's try and get those in. I'm just going to touch the light switch before I do this. I should have the SD wrist strap on, but I should be alright. Let's just carefully just check which way pin 1 is. Yeah, you can just about see on the silk screen here the notches at the top. I'll try and get these in. Yeah, just turn that a little bit. Quite hard to see whether that's actually in. Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're a bit strange, those sockets, to say the least. They might be single wipe. I should be checking these really with magnification to make sure I'm sticking the right chips in here, because I'm just guessing these are all 4164s. Let's have a quick look. 4164. Hang on, that's a 426. One of those. Hang on, what's that one? That one's a 4164. That one's a 41256. Yeah, but that's not going to work, is it? It probably will do. It's probably just get even more bits, but I might be feeding 12 volts or I don't know, something into somewhere I shouldn't be doing. That was the mistake I made when I did that one of those 500s, wasn't it? I forgot which one it was now. I think I was looking at that 2000 and I got the wrong chip on there, and it passed the test but wouldn't boot. In that case, it was too small. This could be a problem because I'm not sure I'm going to have 8 4164s. See what that is. That one's a 4164. And that one's a 4164. Maybe we can upgrade it by 16k instead of 32k. And that's what we're doing, by the way. We're adding 32k of RAM. Yeah, these ones are 4164s. So 4164, 64, 64. Oh, that's not gone in straight. Yeah, the pins are straight on it. It's a really weird socket. That pin there's a little bit bent. Let's just bend that over a bit. God, that went in with an awful noise. It just feels like it's kind of floaty when you sit it on top like that. It's awful. Anyway, let's just take those away. Those ones are 41256s. Are they? The 426s, those ones. So I'm going to need to look back in here again. Stick those two back onto here. Yeah, it's like that one there, 41256. So we got, is that a 64? Stick those back. Yeah, that one's a 4164. So we need one more, I think. Yeah, that one's a 4164 as well. There. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see. This one's been reclaimed. This I can see it's got bits of solder on it. I'll just squish those legs down with the pliers actually. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether the RAM makes a difference to the the cards plugged in here, the Div OMC Future, or whether it won't work. And if it doesn't work, that's going to worry me a little bit. It must be something to do with the Z80 M1 line on it, which means we'll have to take that off and put a socket on it. I spent some time yesterday cleaning everything up, by the way. When I got stressed with the solder station the other day and the solder pump, this thing here, I completely stripped it down, and I kid you not, I literally polished up every single part inside it. There's not a particle of solder in that, and it works really, really well now. And I did the same thing with the this here. I mean, it wasn't very blocked, but you saw it did block a few times, so I put a new filter in, cleaned it all out, put a new tip on it. It's got a super small nozzle there. I'll just pull that thing off the side of the station now. Oh, I pulled it to pieces. That'll do. Right, so we've got all the chips in there. We need to get the keyboard back on now. I'll just catch up with the chat. Shiroro, need more static. Yep. Rub your cat against the extra static. Yeah, I do try and, I'll tell you what, I do, when I see the cats walking around here, I get a little bit paranoid about it actually. If they go anywhere near a board, I'm like trying to, herd them away. I wouldn't want them to sit on a board, that's for sure, or rub past it. They are little mobile ESD generators, that's for sure. And likewise, if I was to touch one, I will very quickly discharge myself before I touch anything. That's it, that one's in. And I think this one's the one, hang on, no, that's the one that, yeah, this one, just you do it that way from the back, it's easier. And this one, it's easier to do from the front, just because of the very way I'm bent over. So move that back a little bit. You can perhaps just about see what I'm doing. It's a bit dark. Hopefully I won't need to go back in there again. You never know, I might have misseated one of those and have a pin set out the side or something, but it looked okay, so give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's fly back over there and see if that works. Yeah, that's not a good sign. Yeah, that doesn't look good, does it? Let's just take the div IDE out. So that's the div IDE out. Switch it back on. Oh, there we go. So it's not that it's not working; it just doesn't seem to like the div IDE. Let's try. I've got the one from the future with 8-bit here. I've checked the dip switches on this the other day, so we'll give this a go. Show them connecting this as well. It's not very exciting, but may as well. Camera's trying to make for it again. So I switch the power off. I much prefer the one from the future was 8-bit in terms of you're having to press on the connection in the back here. Look. It's really difficult to get this thing on and off. That's not on straight. It has got a key. What I mean by key, if you look at the PCB, so you've got a gap there. On both of these, there's a little divider, but this one from the future, from Lotharac, it's like a pin, and it's not being cut totally level, so you've got to kind of push it so that it's, you know, as low down on each side as it possibly can be. It's not very good, really. It's the one thing I've never liked about that thing from Lotharac there. It's not going to go in, is it? Oh my goodness. It would help if the case was screwed together, to be fair. There we go, it's on there. So you can see that's totally flat on the back. Just turn it around. Connect power again. Let's see what happens now. Yep, that's working, I think. So now, this is an interesting thing here, and it's just occurred. On an issue 2, can you see the colours can go really, really weird. You need to, well, not only recap, but replace or adjust those adjustments there, because it's locked onto the colour carrier there a bit better. So it's detected the card, press a key, that's worked. If we press the non-maskable interrupt button, yeah, you've got to kind of ignore this distortion here. This is just the TV signal being awful. I could probably try and tune that in a little bit further. Let me just see if I can do that. If we go into the menu, TV menu, installation, channels, analog, manual, install, search. Let's do search next. See if it might stop there. No, it's not. It's going to go back around, isn't it? You can specify frequency. Let's just let that go around once and bring the Mac over whilst that's doing that. But if we composite mod it, then obviously that would that's the preferential thing to do, really. Is the piggyback transistor stock? Yes, well, it's factory. It was a revision they did to the issue 2 Spectrum. There's a number of those, isn't there? Those dead bug type mods. I think the issue 1's got something similar, or can have, depending on whether someone's done the mod or not. You worry about it being boring to watch. Someone, if it's a bit hardware yet on Twitch, watch random bell watch around the streets. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. That what I am concerned about with these is, you know, maybe people that have, you know, are interested in what I'm doing, even if it does seem a bit samey. Because that's the thing. I've had a number of streams here that, I don't know, they're all blurring into each other and feel the same to me. Anyway, let's see that. See what that comes up with now. It should stop around 589, shouldn't it? Hopefully it's a bit before. Yeah, you can see it's kind of distorted and awful. I would probably put that down to the capacitors more than anything. Anyway, it's not much better, is it? I think I've just not saved it. Right, let's. I'll use the keyboard here. Let's try and load something. God, it's hard to see. It's hard to see what's what on that screen, isn't it? It really is. I was looking to see, I think there's Operation Wolf here. Let's just see if the 48K version is that as there. You can tell from the file size, like that one's bigger. You can see 196244. It's just about visible there. That one's 4. Oh, that's something different. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, there's one there. Opwolf 1. 38924. That's a Z80 snapshot, so that's a, you know, save of the memory and the registers and stuff, I think. So if we try that, let's just see if that works. Yeah, that's looking alright, isn't it? See if it starts. Press key to continue. Yep, it's not doing anything now. So maybe it's not working. Try something else. Oh, there's another one there. Let's try that one. Yeah, you can see the size difference. Can you see the one we just looked at was roughly, I don't know, a bit more than 40 odd K, wasn't it? This one's 41K. It's different, even though it's supposed to be the same game. I think this one works. I think I've tried that one before. So, because remember that graphical thing going on, and then it should start working. So that's not working, is it? Oh, joy. Let's power cycle it, pick something else from the menu. Maybe start with something smaller, like 16K game. We'll go back to looking at the future, see future and see if that works. Yeah, just see a comment from Dave there. Try something 16K like Jetpack first, because it looked like it was just the 16K booted up too fast. Oh, I didn't notice that actually. Let me try that again. Let me power cycle it. Oh, I know what the issue is. I know what the issue is. I'm being a complete muppet. That's what the issue is. Let me take this back over there. We need a jumper. We need a wire link. Why do you think we need a wire link? I'll just post that there. Yeah, post now. Why do you think we are missing a wire link? Switch the iron on. Just reading there. There's 2 wires that you need to move on the top middle of the board. Membrane will be goosed. Yeah, I think the membrane will be goosed by the time I've connected and disconnected it a few more times, but it was working fine the other day. We carefully disconnected it, or I did anyway. I carefully disconnected it and it was working and it didn't suffer any damage. But these things, you know, can only be done so many times. The more times you do it, the more stressed out it gets. The thing's so brittle. That one's come out. Let's try this one. God, that regulator's hot. But that's the problem with using that 14-volt power supply there. Yeah, the reason it's missing a link, if you remember in the previous video, one of the things I was talking about is you sometimes on the revisions, you've got some jumpers up here that specify the types of chips you've got on there and whether it's the lower half of the chip that you're using or the upper half. And the reason being is, as I mentioned previous times, and other people are probably very aware of this already, is that Sinclair bought the 4164 chips that were faulty in one half. They got them cheap, you know, so like when the manufacturers these were testing, if they found a problem, typically you just get, you know, they might find a problem in somewhere in the chip there. If it was just one location, it happened to be the lower half, they would stamp it and mark it so that Sinclair could use it as, you know, the upper half of that chip, the 32K in it instead of the 64. So you need to change that jumper. Mind you, thinking about that, I don't know whether that's going to cause the issue because I know it will. It'll be floating. So it's like 1 minute it could write to the upper of a chip, and the next minute it's right to the lower of a chip. If that's going to be floating, I think, or will it? Yeah, it could. If the upper address bit's floating, that would cause all sorts of weird and wonderful things. That might even be why the future was 8-bit cart was not behaving normally. Where's the screwdriver now? So I need to just get the board out. I should just disconnect that really while I'm at it, but yeah, it's not that important, is it? So I think that's an interesting mark. Can you see that? Just flux, I think. Yeah, it's where that wire is. It's where that deadbug mod has been. So it's somewhere around the ULA, I think, because I did research this beforehand, but now I'm not so sure. Yeah, so it's going to be something to do down there, I think. Is it 3 here? You've got pad there, pad in the middle, the pad there. It could be those 3. Yeah, next to this chip maybe. Let me just measure on the meter. I mean, this is guesswork here, but I can check it, I guess, in a minute. Maybe look online to see if there's anything that clarifies. I'll rotate around this way a little bit so you can see perhaps a bit better. What I'm just going to do is just test from ground, I think. Is that ground? Yeah, that's the ground. I forgot where they are now. Can't see the blooming things out here. Yeah, so that side's ground. I'm guessing that side's going to be 5 volts. So let's try and find 5 volts now. That pin there's 5 volts. Where are they here? Yeah, so you've got 5 volts on one side of this jumper here, ground on the other side. I'm guessing, where's that go? One of the ones up here. Yeah, I mean, it could be a bit dangerous just guessing that. Let me just go and have a quick look. Unless anybody knows, can you confirm, is that the right 3 pads there? technical chat. It could be that some 64K 128 cycle refresh and others are 256 cycles. Yeah, I guess that's possible. Doesn't matter if you have a good 4164 chips, both parts should work unless jumper is completely missing. Well, it is. That's the thing on these. It's not never sat. There is no jumper. So it would have been floating, which means that 1 minute it can write to the upper, half, the upper 32K, and the next it could be reading back from the lower. I was surprised how well that was working, considering that's floating, to be fair. But there might be some residual resistance or something there, just slightly pulling it one way or the other more of the time than not. It says links to the left of IC3 LS157. Yeah, and that is IC3. So I think it is. I think it is the three pads you were looking at there. It's the spacing. The clue to me when I was looking at it is, can you see kind of equally spaced apart? Rather, these are just wires. Those are actually pads. So I think we just need to just solder it one way or the other. It doesn't really matter which, because we're using 4164 chips here, and they're good. They're good. The upper K works, the upper 32K works, and the lower 32K works. The other benefits of the 4164 chips, if you ever got a RAM fault and it wasn't, it was just like you've got a bad location somewhere in that RAM, you could literally just swap the jumper over there to the other position. You may find it works again. You could run your RAM tests and things on it and find it's all right. So that's something to consider. Hang on a minute. Get the solder. Get a bit of solder on the tip. I'm just going to use a piece of Commodore here on the underside. It's the easiest thing. It doesn't need to be particularly thick bridge or anything. You could use like a wire leg off a resistor or something, or anything really. So I'm just going to go from that one there, I think, to the middle. So I'll get a bit of solder on there. Yeah, sorry, I know you can't see very well there. A bit in the middle there. Just point you down a little bit. Move you in a little bit, perhaps. Way too close. Yeah, those 2 points there. And I'll just cut this down a bit. Get the solder off that. There we go. That's one side. It doesn't need to be particularly bent out or anything like that. I can just literally lift it up a bit here, heat it with a bit of solder to expose it. It's going to look a bit what's the word? Fudgy, but it should do the job, I think. So just try and bend it out a little bit so that I'm not melting the sheathing so much when I touch it. Yeah, there we go. Get the solder off the iron and just hold it down a little bit as we flow that. Yeah, that's it. So we've got a little itty bitty wire there. That's hopefully now enough to get it to work. So zoom back out again. Get it back into the board here. Into the shell rather than the board. Get rid of Commodore. It's all trying to escape from the reel. Sometimes that Commodore stuff drives me nuts. The reel wheels off on its own somewhere and it unravels. And then I spend the next 10 minutes trying to ravel it all back up again. So we'll just get that screw back in as well. What's that? It's really weird the way this sits in here. There you go. There are some standoffs that just it sits over. You might not be able to see. You can see a little. There's one here, plastic one here. The board just fits nicely over it. It's the same over this side here. So again, don't over tighten that. It just wants to be finger tight, more or less. That's it. And where's the keyboard gone? I've lost it. Yeah. We'll try it without the keyboard. Oh no, we need the keyboard. You've got to press something, haven't you, to activate the darn thing. Let's wheel back over there again. So thank you very much to everybody who's watching, but my subscribers in general, we've got just over 20,000 subscribers today. As I mentioned earlier, also thanks to Vince, because he helped push me over the 20,000 subs mark. But if it wasn't for you guys and gals, then this channel wouldn't exist. It just wouldn't exist. It'd be just me on my own doing videos, and I'm sure after having no views at all, I would have just given up and not uploaded anything. Right, there we go. You can see the screen there. So I need to connect the keyboard again. We'll try the featureization in a sec. Just bear with me, guys. Right, that's one side of the keyboard on. Just rotate it around a bit to make it a bit easier, and do the other one. I hope we don't have to keep taking this keyboard off, because it's going to drive me nuts. It'll break. That's the main thing, it'll break. It's not very expensive to get a new membrane anyway if we need to. So let's press the key now and see what happens. So that's okay. Bring up the menu. Right, I'm going to go select Operation Wolf again, because I know that should work. So press enter. Down, oh, up, down. Hang on, go past it now. Up. Right, let's select one of those there. That one, 38K. Well, 38.9K. Let's try that. See what happens. Press the key. Oh, I do know one of these plays up, so maybe that one. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's try the other one. Because that one's a bit bigger, look. 41433. I vaguely remember it doing that, and then it should spring to life. It's not doing that, is it? I don't know. Let's try something like Horace. Coming back to what Dave Curran was saying earlier, try a 16K game. How do you get back? Let's try and power cycle it. It's quicker than try to work it out to go back and forward through the menu there. Yeah, if I remember, Horace, like Hungry Horace and Horace Goes Skiing, they're like 16K. Now, I've got to be careful actually, because you saw what happened to whatever she was called. I've forgotten her name now. Octavia's kitten, was it? With Horace, yeah. So I'm going to show approximately 5 seconds of Horace here, and if this works, we'll try something a bit bigger. You know, one thing that I think these things need a change is the navigation. Using the arrow keys like this is crazy. Why can't you just do what you do on the what's it called, SD to AEC, where you can actually type the first few letters. So there we go, Horace, that was a bit bigger. Horace 1, let's try it. I think that's Hungry Horace, isn't it? So that seems to be working. Can't be the keys for this. Oh, there we go. So that is indeed working. So let's come out of that before anyone tries to claim the entire video because I've shown Horace. Yeah, I'm tempted to load Horace and the Spiders there, but yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Hang on, let's find something else. I don't know. I can't think of any games beginning with H. Some of these are quite large, aren't they? That's the problem. Hulk, let's try that one. Yeah, that's just bombed out, isn't it? That's not going to work. So let me get the Mac. Well, I mean, we've seen Horace work there, haven't we? That doesn't prove the new memory's any good. We could do with something 48K, really. Tell you what, let's just go back in there. Oh, it always goes back into the same place in the menu. I wish it didn't. I know you can get back. I think you probably just press the left arrow or something to go back a folder. Let's go into there again. Let's try School Days, because I think that should work. And that uses a fair bit, if not all, of the 48K. Try and spell it now. I think it doesn't. Is it SK? Oh, I can't remember. I think it is. Right. Yeah, there we go. School Days snapshot. So we've got a few different ones there. Let's try the first one. Oh, that's working. That's working. Someone said sys512980. If QS equals yes, go to 10. Yeah. I know there's a poke you can do. You can poke something. Yeah, there you go. Request poke 5757830. There's a few people suggesting actually print peak 2. Yeah, that's the good one. That's the easy one to do. Print. In fact, let's try that. Yeah, that bombed out, didn't it? That bombed out. Print peak. Hang on, it's not that. You've got to do the blooming key, haven't you? Oh, good God, I hate basic on a Spectrum. How do you delete now? Symbol shift not working? No, I've got to press cap shift. There we go. Right, peak. Peak's that one, so I've got to do... Oh, what's the key combination to do that? It's not that. Is it symbol shift? No, it's not symbol shift, it's shift and... Oh, God. Spectrum keyboard. Oh. What am I doing wrong here? Oh. Can anyone remember how you get peak on a 48K Spectrum? You've got to press... it's like you've got to put... Is it extended mode? Is it one of the extended things? So while since I looked on cap shift, I mean, if I press cap shift and O, we just get an O. So it's not cap shift. It's I'm trying to look. It's extended mode, isn't it? You've got to put in extended mode. Is it like that? Yeah, it's cap shift and symbol shift to put it in extended mode, and then you print peak. Right, let me scroll back a little bit. Hang on. Print peak 23733. 23733. 128. So it's not working, is it? It is not working. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, curse of the battery again on the phone. Because I wasn't really expecting to do a stream, so I wasn't prepared for it. And yeah, we're coming over here. Obviously, we lost the power. So the next thing I think I need to do is just disconnect this RAM and just make sure these RAM chips are in right. Let me just put the SD rest strap on while I'm doing this over here. I'm inclined to think, has it gone off again? Is anybody still there? You're insane if you are. Well, you're not really. Anyway, yeah, the power just seems to be playing up on this at the moment, so hopefully it'll be alright now. I'm just removing these RAM chips. Let's just get these off. We'll remove the 4 ICs I fitted as well. Just make sure that everything looks okay there. I've got no reason to suspect that I did bend anything when I fitted these. Perhaps bending 1 or 2 of the pins, removing the chips here. Just by going at a crazy angle, you really want to just try and lift them by the slightest amount. I'm not seeing any bent pins so far. I might just see if I've got any more 4164s and just swap these out. See, the problem with the ROM on here is it's soldered on. But not only that, the diagnostics EEPROM I have, it's pin outs is going to be subtly different. It's going to be at least 1 pin. Let me take this thing off. There's going to be at least 1 pin. So you need some sort of adapter, I think. Or you need to write the ROM a certain way, perhaps. I could be wrong. I'm just guessing here. Because I remember from that Harlequin board there was a jumper you had to set depending on which type of ROM you had, and I'm sure that's what it was for. Yeah, the pins look alright on that. I mean, that one has been reclaimed from something though, so maybe that one's the one that's it's not right. The other ones are all new. Those two we know are right. I wonder if these are perhaps the wrong way around, maybe. IC23. Let me just go look at that piece of paper that we had at the start. So if I have a bunch of speckies that need recapped and given some love, yeah, well, feel free to fire them over to me and I'll sort them out. Yeah, so looking at that bit of paper there, IC23 was the HC32 and 24 was the 00. So just have a look at that, 23. Have I got them around the wrong way? I think I might have done. That would explain it entirely. Just have a look at the boards. Hang on a sec, guys. Now, IC23 is the LS32, which is correct, yeah. Or HC. I mean, I've got HC versions. I don't think that's going to be the issue, though. I don't know, I'm a bit perplexed, actually. I think we've got to assume, if one of these is not faulty, I mean, I guess we can look at them on Logic Probe in a minute, but if one of these is not faulty, then it has to be one of these RAMs, perhaps. Let me just have a look. What are the 4.164s I've got? Hang on a sec. Yeah, thanks, X Renew. I think that confirms what I was looking at here, doesn't it? I'm sure those are the same. Those chip numbers and the positions. So I've got another 4164 there. Okay, let's just move those ones out of the way over there. Got one there. Let me get that wrist strap back on as well. Hang on. That one's a 4164. That one's a 4164. If we can at least get one side with some different chips here, then at least we can rule out perhaps one side at a time. Yeah, that one's a 4164. That's 4 of them. I've got 3 more here, 567. Just checking if these have got any solder on them. They haven't. These have never been used, I don't think. So we just need one more, and we've got a second lot. And there we go. Found another one as well. There we go. So we'll just we'll completely swap those over. Let me just grab these ones on the left. Sorry, you haven't been able to see what I'm doing there, have you? Yeah, I've just literally put a whole load of new ones. So we've got 8 more. Get rid of the old 8 ones, and we'll just change the entire bank and see if that makes any difference at all. If it doesn't, I think we're going to be in the realms of up here. Is there any relationship to the ULA, maybe, to do with that extra RAM? Yeah, that one's not the same make, but it should go alright. Oops. Yeah, dropping it on the carpet is not a good idea. I don't like these sockets, they're awful. They just feel really crunchy when you put the chip in, you know. I don't like sockets like that. So, they're all the right way up, aren't they? Yep. Just double check those. 64, 164, 464, 64, 64, 64, 64, 64. I might consider swapping that one there. It's a different make. Well, there's 2 different makes, 3 different makes on there now. But anyway, let's connect the RF. Gonna need that blooming keyboard again, aren't we? Oh, let's just power it on start, see what happens. Nada. I got the wrong power. No, I haven't. That's the right one, isn't it? No, it's not. That's the right one. Yeah, so it's powering on, guys. So let me just connect the keyboard up again. We need that to be able to do the print poke jazz, don't we? So try again. I'm amazed these haven't broken yet. I probably jinxed it by saying that. I'll be honest with you though, I think right from the minute I saw this and the Plus, I kind of knew I was going to have to replace these, you know, the ribbon, the flex membrane thing there. So if why is that going off now? Do you know, I don't seem to be able to window. It's like when I was trying to do streams on the PC, that kept crashing all the time. I was rebooting. Now I'm doing things on the phone. I mean, to be fair, I hadn't planned to do this, so the battery was super low before we started. Oh, it's gone off again. Don't, please. Good God, why is it going off? Thank you for the donation there from Big Trees, RIP the stream. If it goes off again, I may wait until tomorrow before I do another one or later. What I need to do here is just, I don't know, hope and pray that it stays going. What's happening, the battery on the phone's going flat, and I think the battery charger can't keep up with the amount of phone. It is my own fault though, because like I said, I didn't expect to be doing a stream today, so I didn't charge this phone up. And it's gone again. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, it's at 1%. If this goes off again, that's it, guys. I will be back tomorrow, though, probably, with being a bit better prepared. It's doing the same thing. I'll show you, hopefully. Oh, I can't. Hang on, I daren't move the blooming camera. Let me just try and point you up here. Can you see? It's come up with 128 again. So that's after swapping the RAM. So unless all this RAM is suffering some random bad chips, it would appear that there's something else causing it, actually. I'm sorry, it just keeps disconnecting. So I'm probably going to be able to do on this stream with it keep cutting off. If it stays on, great, but I suspect it's not going to do. So I'm not sure. Did we disconnect these? I don't think we did we? We'll try that. If it goes off, let's say, thank you very much for watching the stream and supporting me and stuff. We'll just reconvene tomorrow if it goes off, and I'll pick up where I've left off, perhaps. It would give me some time to go and get some alternative chips and things for this as well. I mean, we can check this with a logic probe, I guess, just to see what we can see, but I'm just paranoid this phone's going to go off any minute. Yeah, you see the legs on that? Those don't look good. They're brown. Can you see that? Maybe it's a connection on that chip. Maybe it's the socket that's made it go brown, but the legs on that are brown. Let's take off the other 157. These ones I know aren't the problem in terms of the legs, but maybe just because these have been sat in a component drawer for a while. No, that one looks alright. That one looks okay. Yeah, let me just get you a contrast with that. If I put a piece of paper up to it, can you see? Can you see they look brown? Yeah, hopefully that's coming across. Let me just go and get the fiberglass pen. It'd be funny if it was something as simple as that. I mean, that's not the sort of thing I would have thought to check, to be honest. Because my chips usually look alright, actually, when they've been in those component trays there. So let's just go for that with the fiberglass pen. Yeah, those are rusted. I know what it is. It's that black sponge. People have talked about that in the past. I've seen other people complaining about the same thing. Some of those, you know, that black spongy stuff, it's got something in there that's conductive, obviously, to help with ESD, you know, to make all the connections literally joined together, more or less. But it breaks down and you start to get horrible tarnish and corrosion on your chip pins if you're not careful. Maybe it was just that. I mean, if we don't get any further, I could just do the same on the other few chips, but I think the only other one that was plugged into that same sponge actually is the other 157, and that one looks alright. Yeah, it's looking a bit better. They're a bit grey, but they're not ready sort of browny colour as they were before. I'm not sure that would do it any. Well, it could do. I don't know. Inspect those, the and and the ore. They look alright. Oh, that keyboard. Well, let's get it back up again. Which way around to go? Is that way? Let's do that one first. Tell you what, this is the most resilient keyboard membrane on one of these ever. If this was any of the Spectrum I've looked at in the past, this would have broken on the second or even the first try. I'm amazed it's still holding together there. Right, sorry, I'm connecting everything back up. Right, just bear with me a sec. I'm not sure I want to move the camera, to be honest. It's one of those. I'll move the camera, it'll lose the power, and then we'll lose the thing. I'll type the command in, and then I can show you once I've done it. So it's going to be print. So peak, you do those two. It goes, it turns to an E, the character, which shows it's in extended mode. And then you just press O. Print peak 23733. 128. Let me just check that's right. Is it 23733? I don't know who posted that before. Is that person still with us? Could you just check with this? Was it 23733? I could scroll back. Hang on, it might take a while. Thanks for the 2 donations there, by the way, from Big Trees and Zarkos. Much appreciated. There's so many messages here. Yeah, print peak 23733. Just try that again to make sure I did it. Print peak 23733. Yeah, it's coming up 128. Oh, this is dragging mad. So, I don't know, what are your thoughts, guys? What do you think? This RAM, I'm pretty sure all this RAM is alright. I'm sure it's been tested a number of times in the past, so I don't think the RAM is the issue. The value printed should be A for 4K unit 65536. Hang on, missed that. So I'm trying to catch up with what people are saying here. I'll keep up. Print peak 200. I only remember poke 23692.255. Yeah, I think that the one that's already been suggested there is correct though. That should give 255, and it's not. It's coming up with 128. I'll try that. I'll try what you're suggesting. Print peak. So it's 23732. 32 plus. Oh my goodness, where's the plus on this? That's that one, isn't it? Symbol shift plus 23733. 23733 times 256 asterisk. It's one of the red ones. That's the quote. It's that one there. Times 256. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's not right. Because it comes at 6075648. That. Yeah, that isn't right. What can I do now? I can have a look at the logic probe, I guess. We've got an AND, yeah, an AND, and an OR gate, haven't we? Let's just have a look at those to see if we see anything interesting. I'll try and disconnect this now from the power supply that was using with the Amiga before. Oh my goodness, all the wires are all wrapped around each other here. And yeah, got to disconnect again, aren't I? Can't really measure anything with that on. I mean, if this feels something out, obviously perhaps see it through to conclusion today, but if we don't see anything here, I might just wrap the stream up and pick up later once I've had time to get the schematics and get a spare set of chips for here, because it could be that 373. We saw some red corrosion there. Maybe that's the issue. I'm not sure I have another. I don't really like sticking it on there. Let me think. Let me just get the meter. Let's see if there's a cap on that same 5-volt line there. I'd rather stick it on the positive of a capacitor rather than the chip. Because when you try and clip those little croc clips there onto a chip leg, it's easier to bridge the rail to something next to it. You know what I mean? It can, you know, if you were to stick it on, I don't know, there, for example, it could rotate, it could slide round and short the pin next to it. So let's just measure from one of these here. Yeah, that's a dead short there to the VCC. Hang on, no, that's not. That's 12. That's one of the RAM chips. What am I doing? It's probably one of the other rails. That. I don't know. I'm measuring the negative side there. Positive side. Let's move this up. Something around here should be. Where's the positive? What? Is it going to be something under there? How are none of those caps on the 5-volt rail? Yeah, that one is. I think. Yeah, that one is. I'm surprised how long it took me to find a cap there on the 5-volt rail. So we'll connect that there, connect that to the heatsink, I think. That should do. Power it back up. Make sure I'm getting video. Yeah, I am. You can't see that, but I'm getting video, so it's on. And let's have a look at, I think this one was the ore, wasn't it? So we've got pulsing. Pulsing is an input. Pulsing. So we should see some pulsing. Yeah, we do. I think it goes input, input, output. We'll soon find out. Hang on. Pulsing. High. Tell you what, that's getting incredibly hot. ULAs do though. So pulsing and high. Yeah, because it's an ore, it's just going to stay high, isn't it? Because one of those inputs is high. And that's the ground. Let's have a look around the other side. Again, I'm not sure if that's an output. That's red hot, that heatsink. Pulsing. 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 I think that one's alright. I think this one's an and, isn't it? So it's like high. High should give us a, hang on, a low. Or is it a NAND? 0, let me just check that. It could be a NAND. But it could be that chip that's faulty. Hang on, let's have a look. 74 LS00. Looks like a NAND actually. Yeah, so that's correct then, isn't it? It's a NAND. The output is inverted. So if we check that again, we've got high and a high. So you'd expect on a normal AND that would give us a high, because it inverts it, it should give us a low when it's doing. That one's pulsing and a high. I'm trying to think what you get on an output now for this. Is it going to be pulsing? Yeah, it's going to be pulsing. Ground. Pulsing high. Pulsing low. Yeah, I think that's right actually. I'm not sure which is the output there. Is it the pulsing low or is it the pulsing high? I don't think it matters actually, thinking about it. So we've got low, and a high. Yeah, sorry, a high and a high is giving us a low, and that one's pulsing, and a sorry, pulsing low, yeah, and pulsing. It's giving us, yeah, it's giving us pulsing. I don't think that's the issue either. Let's have a quick look at those 157s. I've not got the pinouts to hand for these. I could do with finding those as well in a minute. High, pulsing, low. Yeah, these are just multiplex. Hang on, that's in the wrong way. How's that in the wrong way? Is it in the wrong way? No, it's not in the wrong way. I'm panicking. Yeah, I thought it was in the wrong way there. Just because I was looking at the little, can you see in the body here? There's like a little circle there, as there is here, but the semicircle's up here. So it's not in the wrong way. Anyway, look, I guess I could just probe a little further just to see if we can see anything crazy, but without the pinout for that. Yeah, that one's floating. That one's floating. Let's just compare to this one here. Ow, that heatsink's red hot. Yeah, I'm starting to question that chip there, actually. It's got a floating pin. Another one floating. Let's switch it off. What I might do is just go and quickly shoot into the other room, into my component trays, and see if we can swap out that 157 there, because that might be the issue, just based on the fact that there's a few floating pins on it, and those are the ones that got the corrosion on, actually. So maybe that's faulty. Give me a sec, guys. I'll be right back. Went back, sorry about that. At least the phone hasn't gone off again. So, I mean, you guys, have you been as bored as me? That's why I'm doing all this stuff like this now. I'm just trying to keep myself busy doing this. Yeah, I found a 157 here. It's a different manufacturer. I'll show you. It's, I don't know what that is. Is it RS? Looks like it's got the RS symbol on it. It says Portugal. So let's just put that down there. Get the wrist strap on. And stick that in. I mean, it could be some corrosion in there. I don't remember why that pin's gone weird. I might have to just put a new socket on it. Let's just move that out of the way. Power it back up. Oh, I've wrapped that under there now, look. Let's just probe that pin again. Hey, look, we've got signals now, look. You see that? Hopefully that's visible. You saw that was floating before. One or two of these here were floating. I think that's the issue. Just my luck to find a faulty 157. Blame Alison. That was one of Alison's chips. It's a good job she had 3. The funny thing is, I had that chip already lined up to test to start with, and I swapped it for this one. The reason being, you can see that one's a Texas Instrument. Can you see the little, yeah, it might not focus very well, the little Texas Instrument icon, the symbol there. So I put 2 Texas Instruments ones on there, and put that one back in the tray there. It's only as a consequence of everything we've been doing here that we've obviously worked out, I think, that that's the fault, hopefully. So let's disconnect that. Let's connect up the keyboard again, if I can find it. It's gone walkabout. Here it is. Just noticed my ESD clip has come off the power supply. I don't know how long that's been floating off there. Yeah, it's still plugged into the mains, that's power supply. So, which way around is it now? That way? Yeah, that way. So let's do this one. Sorry, I know it's not, you know, I've got to stop myself apologising. It is what it is. It's just a stream. Try and keep you entertained, I guess, and stuff I'm going to be doing. way. I guess there's nothing to apologise for, even if it is awful. It's been really nice weather here today around Lancashire. Really sunny. It was yesterday as well. So you can tell it's like turned a corner. It's feeling very springish, almost heading into summer. It's still not right. I can tell it's still not right instantly. I'll show you. I'll point you up at the screen. Hopefully we won't lose the power. Let's put you on here. What I'm probably going to do is take a break and maybe pick up tomorrow, I think. Because having done that, let's see if I can move that up a bit. Yeah, having worked out that chip's not right, if I switch it off and on, just watch. You see how short that black screen was? It's still not right. The other thought here is perhaps the RAM. I could just quickly swap over that hole. Let's just do that. I won't point you down here, I'll just do it. We'll just disconnect the keyboard again. And I'll just quickly swap over to the RAM we tested to start with, in case I just happen to have picked up a bad chip in this block of RAM chips. I think it's unlikely, but for the minute it's going to take me, why not? I'll just take the other chips back down there. I mean, I think if it turns out one of the RAM chips is the issue here, I'll go through all my chips actually and just test them. But I'm fairly sure I've done that at some point in the past, and these are all good chips. But you never know, I could have missed one. Could have damaged one with mishandling it or something at some point. What's that little wire there, was it? Yeah, I was just looking at that dead bug mod, and I wondered if the wire was something to do with it. It's not though. The other thing I could think about doing is, I don't know, running another RAM test of some sort, see if that can help me. Because I've got that diagnostics ROM there that I showed you at the start, but I need to get a socket on this board before I can attempt to use that. I might do that next, I don't know. Now I think the lower RAM is on these boards. Isn't that the RAM that's susceptible to the voltage issues, or is it the chips that go in there as well, the 4164s? I can't honestly remember whether that has multiple supply rails. I don't think it does. I think it's the lower RAM, isn't it? That's the funny one. They're like 4116s. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're the ones that have like plus minus 5 volts and 12 volts or something, aren't they? So I'm just plugging the new RAM in, guys. I'll point you back down here for a minute. You must be getting sick of seeing a blue screen. If you've stayed with the stream this long, you've got more. What's the word? You're more resilient than I am. I think I would have given up a long while ago watching. This one too. 3. I think this is very unlikely to be the issue. I think there's something else I'm missing somewhere. I think we found one issue with that chip. But if that one was faulty, you never know, maybe that one's not right or something. I might need to get a couple of 157s for this. Nearly there. 2 more. Hang on, I'm not sticking that in. That's the 157. I nearly stuck into a RAM slot there. Let's just check those. They're all the right way up. Yeah. I've got the odd one that's a different make there. I could try taking that KSERA out and swap on that one. We've got 2 KSERAs there. So I could remove those in a minute if that doesn't work. We'll try that. Let's see what happens now. I'm just looking at the black screen. Obviously got the right power. Oh, that's working, I think. I think I solved it. Yeah, I'll show you. Wow, I'm surprised. So, yeah, the RAM does seem to be the second part of the problem. We had two problems. I had a bad RAM chip somewhere, and a faulty 157. So watch how long the black screen stays black. That's like twice as long, isn't it? Yeah, there's definitely a change there. Right, let me keep it up again. Well, I mean, that's good, isn't it? And despite all the frustration of the disconnects and everything else that's gone wrong here today, at least we've kind of made some positive progress in terms of understanding the sorts of things you might come across when you're trying to upgrade one of these. Make sure your RAM chips are good. And yeah, if you use old new stock or new old stock ICs there for the the 7.4 series chips, just make sure they're not tarnished in any kind of way like the one on here. There we go. So keyboard's connected again. So let's try that. So print, extended mode, peak 23733. I'm amazed the keyboard even works. 255. Oh yes, sweet. Right. Let's try. Which one should we try? We'll try the Futures 8-bit one. We'll connect this bad boy up again. I can sort of show you this. You've seen it so many times now. There we go. So it's totally in there. Let's connect it up. Get the power. Make sure the SD card's in. SD card's in. Power it up. See, that's not normal straight away because it didn't load the three drivers. There should be. It's just loading exydos.system and it reboots. So there's something wrong with that cart. I'm sure of it. Or there's something wrong with the system still, maybe the M1 line. Anyway, let's disconnect it because we were getting more luck before, weren't we, with the other, the one from Lothrax. So plug this beast in. Let's see what happens with this. I hope that DivOMC feature is okay, not faulty in some sort of way. I suspect it's going to be something weird with this Spectrum actually. So that's okay. We press the NMI button. Yeah, you see it's working. I mean, ignore the video stuff. Like I say, when we composite mod this, might do that tomorrow because it's only going to take 10 minutes to composite mod it. I'm sure the display will look perfect then. So we'll go down to Wolf again because I know that should work. I'm darn sure I've loaded it a number of times on these 48K ones. But I am aware there's two images there. One of them works, one doesn't. So it's that one. Let's try that one first, Wolf 1. See what happens this time. Press any key. Oh yes, sweet. Can't hear any sound. Is the buzzer working? Can't put the keys are on this now. Is it cursor keys or something? No, it's not. Look, it's an X, O, P, Q. Is it space or something? No, it's M, M. Oh, what are the keys? Yeah, there's no sound coming from this. It's silent. Let's just reset it. I'm sure you can do. Is it beep? Let's just see if we can make it beep. Try and find the command now. Where the hell's beep on the keyboard? I can't see it for the life of me. Let me point it down. Hang on. Yeah, ignore the screen being blue there. As I say, it's just the video being weird. I mean, it's saying low battery again. If we disconnect at any point, thank you very much for joining. I won't be back today. I don't think I can face powering it back up again. Can you see beep anywhere, guys? I'm sure you can do a beep command on these, can't you? I can't see it. Unless my mind's going blank. Someone said Z key. Oh yeah, there we go. So, hang on. Delete. Oh. Is it that one? How did you get delete now? Oh, capital. There we go. It gets me every time, this keyboard. It's that one and then... No, it's not that. Oh my goodness, how hard is this to... It's not that, that's copy. That's copy. I don't know, I can't get beeps to come up there. It's like... But anyway, I think it's working. Just switch it off. I'm just a little bit puzzled as to why there's no sound, actually. Why there's no sound. It's going to be something to do with the speaker down here. I don't know. Anyway, we'll pick up that in another stream, I think, guys. Because, yeah, I've just gone on too far. We've had too many power cuts and things. So, thank you very much for joining the stream today. I'm so sorry we had so many power problems with the phone. What I'll do is I'll make sure the phone's totally charged up before we attempt to do any more streams. It was a last minute thing really today. It wasn't planned at all. So thank you very much for the few donations we've had today. I'm sorry if I've missed any questions and things. I'll catch up in the next stream. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have a look at this. We'll perhaps see if we can get this thing here from the Future 8-bit working. What I might need to do is remove the CPU, I think, because I've got the suspicion that there's something a bit glitchy with perhaps the M1 line on this CPU, and maybe that's what it is. But it could be a fault with this. Could be a fault with this. I doubt it, but it could be. The connections on the board are super clean. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. I will catch you in the next video. Take care and stay safe.